it possible if you can introduce?
The Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Lagos State Area Unit, has called for tougher measures to address the growing challenge of insecurity in the country, including the imposition of maximum penalties provided by the law for convicted terrorists, kidnappers, and bandits responsible for loss of lives. The call was made during a press briefing held at the Bagwada Cultural Press Center in Alausa, Lagos, where the organization formally introduced its newly elected leadership following the successful conclusion of its annual conference and electoral process.
As part of the transition, we are pleased to formally present a new set of leaders.
Speaking at the event, the newly inaugurated Amir of MSSN Lagos, Dr. Ajibola Yusuf Salami, described the current period as a critical moment in Nigeria's history, noting that the insecurity remains one of the greatest threats to national development and the safety of citizens, particularly students and young people.
The safety of lives and properties remain a fundamental responsibility for government. MSSN Lagos want to acknowledge the effort of security agencies and governments at various levels in addressing security challenges across the country. However, recent incidents of kidnapping, violent crimes, and attacks on communities continue to raise legitimate concern among students. The student community must never become vulnerable targets for criminal elements. Islam places the sanctity of human life among the highest objectives of the Sharia. The unlawful taking of life, kidnapping of innocent citizens, banditry, terrorism, and violent criminality are grave offenses that contradicts the teachings of Islam and the values of every civilized society.
To address the situation, MSSN Lagos advocates the establishment of special anti-kidnapping, terrorism, and banditry courts to accelerate the prosecution of suspects, strong collaboration among security agencies, increased deployment of technology-driven security system, and enhanced protection for schools, campuses, and student communities.
While condemning these crimes, MSSN Lagos believes that Nigeria must move beyond condemnation towards decisive, sustainable solutions. We therefore recommend establishment of a special anti-kidnapping, terrorism, and banditry courts. We also recommend a fast track of the prosecution of arrested suspects. We also encourage a stronger collaboration between federal, state, and local security structures. We encourage enhanced protection of schools, campuses, and students' communities. We would also want to encourage imposition of maximum penalties provided by law, including capital punishment where legally applicable for convicted kidnappers, terrorists, and bandits, whose action results in loss of life and widespread terror.
Beyond security concerns, the organization highlighted the economic challenges confronting Nigeria's students and youth, urging governments at all levels to increase the investment in education, research, innovation, scholarships, and bursaries. MSSN Lagos also commended the federal government for the establishment of the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, describing it as a step toward improving access to higher education. On the forthcoming 2027 general elections, the society urged political leaders to place national interest above personal ambition and embrace peaceful, issue-based campaigns.
Our society calls on political leaders and stakeholders to place national interest above partisan consideration. We urge political parties to focus on issue-based campaign and avoid rhetorics capable of inflaming tensions or deepening division. We encourage eligible students and youths to participate actively in the democratic process through voter registration, civic engagement, and responsible political participation. We believe that the future of Nigeria will not be shaped by apathy, but by informed and responsible citizenship.
Dr. Salami said the new administration will focus on educational advancements, youth empowerment, mentorship, leadership development, and the protection of welfare of Muslim students across Lagos states.
As a new administration, our focus shall be guided by the following priorities: academic excellence and educational advancements, protection of the right and welfare of Muslim students, leadership, development, and mentorship, youth empowerment and skill acquisition, moral and spiritual development, community service and social impact, institutional growth and sustainability of MSSN Lagos. We are committed to building a more impactful, responsive, and forward-looking society that remains relevant to the aspiration of students and beneficial to the youths in the community.
The head of the female wing of the society, Ajia Rafiat Tijani, during her address, advocates for the full implementation of the use of hijab in schools, as some Muslim female students still face intimidation from their school authorities.
We as an organization, we also have coalition of Muslim organizations all over the states that we do have every year, which is 1st of February, during our World Hijab Day, in order to tell people out there that we are still there to fight for the use of hijab in our secondary school. So we've also engaged a lot of stakeholders, principals at various levels, so as for them to know. The memos is also with them, they have the memo. But it's quite unfortunate that even with the memo, we still have some of them who are still very hostile towards these children, especially in the angle of talking in of the hijab. What the memo stipulated is that the hijab should be worn outside the school uniform, as in talk out, not talking, and that the badge for the school uniform should be placed on the hijab. But yet, we still have some schools that implement them to talk in the hijab, despite the memo from the Lagos State government. So we hope that we continue to fight for it.
He described the commencement of the Islamic New Year 1448 after Hijrah as a symbol of renewal, sacrifice, and purposeful leadership, pledging that the new Executive Council will continue to promote educational excellence, responsible citizenship, and peaceful coexistence. The briefing concluded as MSSN Lagos clearly shows its commitment to engage constructively with government, stakeholders, and the wider society in addressing national challenges and advancing youth development.